guys.
We cannot say that every week.
Are you breaking the third wall right now?
Yes, I'm breaking the fourth wall. You do the hey guys, it's Kylie every single week.
Okay, fine. I'll say something else.
I'm sure the listeners are like, come on, Selena.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure they don't care.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Welcome back to another episode of the TVNT podcast.
We're back at it again. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. How is everyone doing? How are you doing, Cece?
I'm doing quite well.
Really?
Yes.
Love that for you.
Had a busy week. Just the usual things, work and school.
Okay.
But it was good. It was fun and fresh.
Nice. Love that for you. I'm over here on the opposite end of the spectrum. I am a basket case.
Oh, what happened? It's the retrograde.
It is the retrograde. It is my period. And yeah, it's just all coming together in just like not a good way.
Oh no. Okay, what's the quote? Is it sad?
My quote is, hold on one second. It comes from Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Salem the cat. Mm-hmm. He says, "Let's give a big warm welcome to sadness."
I love Salem.
Me too. And yeah, that's just how I'm feeling. Like I literally had a mental breakdown 20 minutes before you got home with mommy. And I was like bawling. She was like, "Let's go sit in your room." So, I'm just like going through it and my retrograde is just retrograding. I broke a cup and then I had to clean up all the tea that was in it. It was just,
no.
And then I cracked a second nail. I'm just like, I'm going through it today. It's
There's
like,
just a lot going on.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah, I feel you.
So I'm just, and what's crazy? It's like, it's Gemini season. It's my time. And it's just the retrograde.
You like Gemini season?
Well, I'm a rising Gemini.
Oh, that's right.
So it's usually good times. Mm-hmm. But this weekend should be fun. It's my best friend's birthday, so we're probably going out and just getting we're probably going out. We're definitely going out. We're doing brunch. We're doing adult things. Mm-hmm. We're doing brunch and we might do a little day party.
Okay,
so we can be
fun.
Home in bed by 8:00. And yeah, we might get ratchet tomorrow, but we'll see.
So you have some things to look forward to. That's fun.
And you know what's so funny? My horoscope also said that this weekend is a good one for love for me. And whenever they say that, it absolutely means that. So
okay.
I'm like, who we meeting this week?
Gonna get a little man's. We love that for you.
Right?
Yeah.
A little summer, little thing.
Yeah.
I'm down. Mm-hmm. I'm with it. All the men in my life are just like failing me right now. I'm just like, can y'all get it together?
Just get rid of them all and start over.
I know. I think I've cleaned house at this point. So we need to rebuild the roster.
Yeah. Fresh meat.
But what about you? Catch me up. What's going on?
So I did have one bad day this week. I guess that was the retrograde, but my quote has nothing to do with that because I just couldn't find something that encompassed just like the normal blasé week that I had. Okay. So this comes from the Real Housewives and it reads, "So all of a sudden, this huge woman/man comes down the stairs in this huge headdress, and I thought it was maybe a drag queen, but it was Luann." And I say that to say Happy Pride Month because
Happy Pride! I love that!
Yeah, that's what I've been writing about this week at my job. So I just figured, okay, well, we'll give a tribute to the gals and the gays.
I love that. That's so cute.
Yeah.
That was in Morocco.
It was funny.
Yeah, I actually have to catch up on Housewives. I'm like so behind. I'm failing my Housewives people with my weekly updates. I'm so sorry.
Issa okay.
But yeah, I'll catch up this weekend, hopefully, at some point. But yeah, let's get into the show. This week, we are talking about Halston on Netflix. It is a docuseries based on the American designer Halston, set in the 70s and the 80s in New York City. And it's about his life and his career and all his gang of buddies, his gang of friends. What did you think?
Okay, so at first I thought that the episodes didn't make sense, like the when they started and stopped.
Oh my god.
Did you feel the same way?
My biggest issue with the show was that they didn't flash what year and what month on it. Like, I needed markers. I was like, where are we? Like, timeline, I was like, where are we? Like, what decade are we in? Like, I was just so confused because, I mean, it started in the 60s with Jackie Kennedy, and then we were like in the 70s. And you saw that kind of evolution from, like, 60s fashion to 70s fashion. But they didn't, like, mark it. I needed, like... And then, on the last episode, I don't know if you noticed, they were, like, 1987. I was like, oh, now you're going to give us a timestamp? Like, I was so annoyed with that.
Yeah, they gave, like, random timestamps. And I just feel like the episodes started and stopped at random points. Like, they weren't significant. The story didn't flow properly to me. And I was like, Ryan Murphy, what is going on? Because he was one of the co-writers on this show. And it did feel like a Ryan Murphy show.
It kind of did.
Yeah. But the other writers maybe had a hand in this. Maybe it was the director. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the director that did this show. But I didn't realize Halston was so iconic and tragic.
Yes, I didn't know anything about his life. I've known the brand. I've always heard about, like, his brand in, like, iconic American fashion. Yes. But I didn't realize, like, his story so much. And I really liked learning about it. I was just obsessed with his crew. Like, the Liza Minnelli of it all. Like, I was living for that. And I love the 70s. Like, I just, like, the era that it took place in, I was just, like, living for.
And the 70s are in right now. Like, 70s fashion is making a comeback, and I love it. All of the celebrities in their music videos are doing 70s, 80s-esque themes. Ariana Grande with Doja Cat and Megan Thee Stallion is a really good example of that aesthetic that's becoming really popular again. Yeah. And I love it. I think it was so timely, so fun.
I loved that aspect of it. What did you think of Ewan McGregor? I wish it was a different actor.
Oh, for the main character?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like he fit.
I think he did a good job, but, like, I wanted it to be Jude Law.
Jude Law?
Yes. Do you remember Jude Law in, I just feel like he had a role like this in something else the other day, and remember that movie with, when he was, like, the gigolo?
No.
Oh my god. I just felt like this should have been Jude Law the entire time. Like, I was, like, not really feeling him.
I feel like this is something that the older listeners are going to agree with you on, and the younger listeners are going to be like, eh.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, like, couldn't completely get into him.
I felt like he did a good job, and he does kind of look like Halston.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just was like, there was times I was just like, Anyways. But I loved Elsa Peretti.
Yes.
Oh my god. If you are a jewelry girl like I am, you know, you love, you stan, you're just like, Elsa Peretti is such an icon and a legend. I didn't realize, like, I knew that they had, like, a history, but I didn't know she was so intertwined in his entire operation.
That was his muse.
And I am just, like, obsessed with her. Like, her time at Tiffany is iconic for that brand. Like, she literally put, like, Tiffany on the map in the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah.
And I was standing her. And the girl that played her was just
beautiful,
divine,
lovely.
Oh my god, so elegant. I literally want to go start doing coke so I can be that, like, thin and frail and, like, skinny.
That thin and frail.
I love that, like, old model skinny gaunt look on some women, and she carries it so well to me. Like, I loved it. The cheekbones, like, she was just iconic. The girl, I hope she does more stuff.
Yeah,
I want to see her again. I was obsessed with that. Like, that was my favorite part of the show.
Yeah, definitely. What did you think of the fashion?
I mean, amazing. Those halter dresses, I love a halter top. I think it's so womanly. It's curvy. It's just timeless. Like, he really brought, like, a fresh, like, elevated take to, like, resort wear almost. Like, those long gowns, the caftans, like, just iconic.
I tried to look up if he invented the caftan, and I don't think he did, but he really popularized it.
Yes, and even the trench dress. Like, I love a wrap dress. There's, like, nothing more that I love than a wrap dress. And I just, like, loved the fashion of it. I loved the sets. Like, his showroom. The sets were
beautiful.
Oh, my God. Can I live in that showroom?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
The red in the mirrors.
Oh, sick. But even, like, the first one with the white, all cream. Oh, my God. That was to die for.
Yeah.
I loved that. Yeah, I just, like, I thought the show was so, like, the set, that was my Ryan Murphy to me.
Yeah.
Like, the world that they built, his apartment, all of that kind of stuff, I was like, this is Ryan through and through.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, and then Liza Minnelli, and just her kind of, like, evolution and, like, growth, and just being, like, that supportive character. And he, like, they really had such a sweet, like, brother-sister relationship almost, I felt. And I felt, like, so... I feel bad for all the artists of that era that came up in that time where Coke was so prevalent. And they all got sucked into it and, like, had to go to rehab and, like, deal with addiction. Just because of the money, the power, and the access of that time. And, like, not having the knowledge to, like, stop themselves from that.
But even Victor, the boyfriend, at one point he was like, baby, it's not the Coke, this is like vitamins at this point.
Right.
Like, no, it's not like vitamins, Victor. This is hard drugs.
Right. It's just, it's so different to see that kind of cultural difference in, like, mindset towards drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. And I've seen this. Have you ever seen the documentary about Studio 54?
No.
Oh my God. Guys, it's on Netflix.
I need to watch that because that was a real story, right? They found the dead body in the vent.
They didn't find it, like, in the vent. The real story is, like, a little bit not as salacious. Like, they didn't find the dead body, like, when they got raided. It was, like, found before that. It was, like, in... like a weird thing, but it was something like that. Someone did die on the premises. Okay. You have to watch that documentary. It is literally one of my favorite documentaries on Netflix, other than Steve Madden's. And
what about Tiger King?
No. And it goes through their entire history. It goes through the founders. It kind of follows Ian Traeger, who now is, like, out of jail, like, moved on. He's the one that started the One Hotels. The One Hotels or the Additions. One of those brands. So he's gone on to, like, become a hotelier, and it's just, like, such a good documentary. And, like, I love, like, it pains me that I wasn't born in a time where I could go to Studio 54. Like, biggest regret of life, being born in the 90s.
I'm dead.
Yeah, I just loved it. I just loved the time period that they set this in. I just, like, could not get enough.
Yeah, I loved it. It was, I feel like there are a lot of shows about, like, suburbia in the 80s and the 70s, but there aren't many shows about, like, the upper class fashion world of that time. And this really gave me everything I needed.
Yes, I completely agree. Just the fabulousness of it all. Yeah. Like, flying on the Concorde to Paris for the Battle of Versailles.
Everyone's smoking on the plane. I was just like, I have never experienced this.
Neither have I. They weren't smoking on the plane in the 90s.
Okay.
I think that, like, went out the door in the 80s. Yeah, like, it's just it's so fabulous. Yeah. And
so different. It was such a different time. It was, like, right before that shift in society where it's like, what are we doing?
Right. Yeah, I just, like, love that. And just seeing those kind of cultural moments and, like, seeing all those, like, old school supermodels, like, the first ones, Beth Ann Hardison, like, I was just, like, living for all the little side characters. Like, same. I just love that. And, like, to see those moments play out, like, those cultural moments in fashion that you hear about and you see pictures of, but there are no video. There is, like, no, like, retelling of those types of moments. Yeah. I just loved it.
It was amazing.
I really liked the show.
I liked it too.
I love a docuseries, and I love this, like, I love, like, a fashion documentary. You know, I just,
Same.
This was great.
But it did leave me a little sad.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This is not a happy ending story.
So many of the designers in the 70s and the 80s and so many of the LGBTQ community, Halston got AIDS. He got it from his lover, Victor Hugo. And he ended up passing away due to complications from AIDS. But it was sort of at this time in his career where he lost everything. Yeah. And he was just reflecting on the time that he spent wasted and lost, like throwing away his talent and his name. But it was kind of a bittersweet ending. And I feel like that last statement at the end where he was like, oh, before I would look at this color blue and think, what can I do with this blue? I need to design whatever. And now I'm just appreciating it. Yeah. And the fact that he took the last 18 months of his life to just appreciate things and be calm, like, I guess that was kind of nice. Yeah. But it is sad that he had to go out that way.
I mean, I think that's the story of so many. People don't know they're in a storm until they're out of it, and his life was a storm. And of his own making, his own creation and design, just being relentless in the pursuit of success. And he got caught up in the whirlwind of it all. And he, you know, got high on his own supply. Like, his ego fed him and was ultimately his destruction.
Yeah.
That was very sad. And it's also sad to see kind of so many shows have kind of like explored that for the LGBTQ community, but like the rise of AIDS and HIV and just how that swept through that community and affected so many of them, and so many of them lost their lives. Yeah. And to see now where we've come in medicine and just like acceptance and just knowledge for that disease, it's just like, it's night and day. It's like, we live in a world where you can contract AIDS and HIV and live a healthy, normal, full life. Yeah. And that just wasn't the case then, because it was new and nobody knew what it was. And, you know, they were calling it cancer. Yeah, so that's always sad to see. But it's the reality of the time.
Did you ever listen to Ryan Murphy's interview with Bethany?
Yes.
You did?
Did I? Yes, I did.
Okay, so I listened to it recently, and I found it very moving when Bethany asked him, what motivates you? What gets you up in the morning, and what makes you want to create? Is it the money? Is it, you know, this is your love, whatever? And Ryan Murphy said something so like chilling. He said, I feel like I'm on borrowed time. I grew up with so many people that got AIDS, so many people that died of drug use, and they were so much more talented than me, and they're gone now. And I just felt like that was going to happen to me, and I have to honor them through the things that I do now. And I haven't seen him do a lot of work like writing stories about AIDS. I mean,
well, he does Pose.
Oh, Pose. Okay, so I don't watch Pose, and I didn't really know, but yeah, seeing this story right after listening to that interview, it was just like, oh wow, like now I understand his motivations for the things that he writes about. Yeah, and it was nice.
Yeah. You need to watch Pose. Honestly, the series finale just aired, so I'm gonna watch the final season, and as a whole, I'm gonna binge it. But it's such an important show. It's so good. Like, the humanity he gives those characters, just the feelings and the emotions, the attachments that you form for them. Like, literally last season, every single episode I was crying.
Oh, like, my gosh. I can't do a show like that all the time.
I can't do it either. And which I kind of like, now that I'm thinking about it, like, I shouldn't have waited to binge it. Like, I should have been watching week to week, because it's not like heavy in the beginning, but you just get so much more attached to the characters, and a lot of them are HIV positive, and you just see that kind of struggle and evolution, and one by one characters are dying off for various reasons. But that's the reality of the time. It's set in the mid 80s in New York City. like underground scene. And it's just like, you know, that was the reality. So many of that community was dying off. But it's, guys, if you don't watch Pose, you have to. You have to. It's like, you have to.
Wow, what a perfect topic for Pride Month.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yes. Yeah, but they were both really good. Totally 10 out of 10 recommend.
Oh, for sure.
There was some, like, I think there was some script things that could have been better with the show, but I thought overall they did a really good job with it. I thought the casting was really good. And just seeing, I loved at the end when Joe came back and he kind of was able to mend those friendships.
When Joe called him a miserable bitch, I had to die laughing.
Yeah, it's just like, no one can call you on your shit like your friends. And that was that moment. But so many people, when they like get big-headed, they push everybody away because they don't want to hear that their shit stinks. Which is terrible, but it happens.
Yep.
Can't get Hollywood, y'all.
Definitely not. You gotta have those people that will keep you in check.
For sure, for sure. But yeah, that was Halston. 10 out of 10 recommend. Really good.
Yeah, I loved it. You guys should watch it. It's on Netflix. And then before we move on to tea, I wanted to talk about a movie.
Okay.
A movie, another fashion movie. I went to the theaters and I saw Cruella.
Jealous?
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It's an origin story of Cruella de Vil, and it stars Emma Stone, and she was just fabulous. That was like such good casting.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, her mannerisms, she really embodied the character. You know how Johnny Depp just takes on the persona of Jack Sparrow? She took on the persona of Cruella.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that because so many people I've seen such mixed reviews of that movie.
Really?
On Twitter, but I just never know, like, Twitter be hating.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. When I first saw the trailer, I was like, I'm here for this. But, okay, so she's wonderful.
Yes, and I believe the movie is also set in, like, the 60s, 70s.
Okay.
She's a fashion designer in London, and she really takes on this punky, authority, anti-establishment like style.
Okay.
And it comes through in the clothes as well, which I love. I mean, a punky style is also really popular right now.
Yes.
And I even read an article the other day that was like, the emo revolution is upon us again. And it was also so fitting, so timely. And it was just a really good movie.
Okay, I'm gonna go see that. I'm gonna take myself to the movies because I feel like that you need with like, I want like nachos and like the whole experience.
Yeah, I ended up going to this bougie movie theater and I had popcorn and a bottle of wine.
Love that.
It was fabulous. It was great. I was like, this is exactly what I needed.
Okay, I might have to do that.
Yeah, no, I highly recommend it, you guys. And if you like the original 101 Dalmatians, you'll like this because it's different, but it does stay true to some of the old story. Like towards the end, you get a little snippet of maybe they're gonna do another one.
I love that.
And you have some OG characters.
Okay.
Loved it.
Love that. Okay, cool. Okay, y'all, it is time for tea.
Tea time.
What are we talking about today, Selena?
So my first story is a little bit of celebrity news and sports news.
Okay.
So I wanted to talk about the Logan Paul versus Mayweather fight.
Got it.
There was no winner because it was an exhibition fight, and if I guess one of them lost, they didn't want to ruin their record. They really just did it for a lot of money.
Yes.
But people, of course, analyzed the fight and they said Mayweather was the winner online.
Okay.
And
makes sense.
I didn't watch the fight, but apparently it was pretty evident that Mayweather won. Apparently Logan Paul didn't really hit many punches, but though I wanted to talk about this because Logan Paul is known as a very polarizing figure. Both of the brothers are very like been canceled. Why are they still around? But the way that he handled this defeat with quotes was really nice, and he was so gracious.
I did see the post whatever interview between them, and they both were just like so humble. I was like, what's happening here?
Yeah, he really humbled himself, and he said, this is the best day of my life. I'm so lucky that I had the chance to do this, and whatever happened, this is the best day of my life. And I was just like, okay, that's so nice. Good PR for you, Logan Paul.
Yeah. And I think what Mayweather said was nice also. He was like, yo, like, this kid is not a professional boxer, and he just lasted 8 rounds with me. Like, that's really commendable. Like, good for you.
Yeah.
I just think that's so, like, okay, how nice.
No, it's true. Like, it really is true. Not many people can do that. I could not go into the ring right now and do 1 round.
Right.
So
the fact that he trained to even be able to last, even if Mayweather was going easy on him, like, that's still a win in ways.
Yeah, definitely. And it was very wholesome and nice. A nice little good moment in sports.
Yeah, and like the fight was kind of dope. It was at the stadium here in Miami, and like Migos performed, and who else performed? Migos and Moneybagg Yo.
Oh, okay.
And I think that was it.
I'm so mad I didn't go because at my job we actually got invited.
Wow.
But of course my boss was like, I'm not interested.
She can't. Do you ever like get farmed out for stuff? Like, if she declines, can you be like, can I take the tickets?
I mean, it's a sticky situation because if we go and then we don't publish anything about it, it's like, why the fuck were you there?
Got it. Damn.
Yeah, it was so disappointing, but yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, let's talk royal baby news. What are their names? Meghan and Harry have welcomed their daughter Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Windsor.
Oh my god, I love that name. Lilibet. And you know what? Diana is actually on my baby name list.
Really?
I think it's a pretty middle name.
It is nice. Lilibet is in honor of Queen Elizabeth. That is her family nickname. Lilibet. They're going to call her Lily for short. And of course, Diana is in honor of Diana. And yeah, she was born last Friday, 7 pounds, 11 ounces. And
big baby.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, they're very happy. And all is well. There was lots of like conversation about like what the name was going to be. And it's interesting that they chose to honor Diana and the grandmother.
You think?
I think so.
I mean, there's not... The royals, they named their kids after ancestors. And there's not that many women that are close to them that they could just, like, take the name from.
Well, because they're no longer royals, they didn't have to adhere to the names, those official names that you had to choose. You know, there's, like, a list.
Yeah.
So, this name is not in that pile. Lilibet is just like the family nickname that the queen's husband gave her years and years ago. No, her father gave to her. So it's like, this is like a real like personal like naming situation.
Well, they said they're cool with the queen.
Which leads me to my next thing that I want to say. If they're so cool with the queen, what's the beef?
The beef is with the brother and the father. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because, like, to me, like, when I think back on the Oprah interview now that, like, the dust has settled and all the salacious things are behind us, I'm just like, what was the point? What was the reason? If you're so cool with the queen and you're honoring her with your daughter's name, like, I'm just like, why did you go on TV and bash them? Like, couldn't you have just thrown some hands at William?
I don't know. It was the brother, the dad, and also the firm.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that the brother and the dad have their hands in the firm. It was all, mix up.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, I doubt that the queen is that into the day-to-day running of the businesses. She's more like a figure at this point, and she's old. Like, they've taken over everything. So the stuff that was happening to Meghan and Harry, it was because of the brother and the dad. And even if they throw hands with the brother and the dad, they're still in charge of the firm, which is going to make their life a living hell.
Yeah. Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, girl, like, if you're so cool with Granny, like, what was the point?
I don't know, girl.
But yeah, so that's the name. It's cute.
Real cute. I can't wait to see if she's a ginger.
She's gonna be. Those jeans are like, those jeans don't go anywhere.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I have has to do with the Kardashian Jenner clan.
I have so much to talk about the Kardashians, so let's get into it.
Okay, yeah. So I'll start it off, and then you can take that into what you have to say.
Got it.
So Kanye hasn't followed all of them.
I was gonna say that.
Unfollowed.
On Twitter.
Mm-hmm. And then there's more tea.
So he is reportedly dating Bradley Cooper's ex, Irina Shayk.
Wait, they broke up?
I didn't realize that. Like, when I saw that they were apparently together, Kanye and Irina, I was like, wait a second, who is she with? And then I, like, Googled, and I was like, wait, this is Bradley Cooper's baby mama.
Wait a minute.
They broke up apparently in January.
Literally, I think it was over the holidays. I was stalking Bradley Cooper on Instagram. I was like, okay, I love this little country boy. I had rewatched True Detective.
Yeah.
And they were so cute. She was like all obsessed. Don't they have hella kids?
They have... Hold on. They have one daughter.
Oh, okay. I thought they had kids.
Well, maybe they do. Yeah, they broke up apparently in January, and they're making I had to look up an article about it.
Yeah.
They're very very cordial and friendly after the breakup, and they are sharing custody and, you know, working on co-parenting their 3-year-old.
Wow.
Oh, they split in June of 2019.
What?
Right. That was so quiet.
I was on I was on his Instagram pretty recently. I'm surprised.
Me too. I'm actually shocked because, like, that was after all the Gaga stuff.
Yes.
But, like, Gaga's engaged right now.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think she had anything, you know.
We won't bring the good sis into this.
But they, like, split very quietly, and this article that I'm reading came out in January. So it's like, we didn't even really, like, talk about this until, like, months later. And now she's with Kanye, and it's just like, what? Hold up.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot going on. So I didn't realize that was Bradley Cooper's ex-wife. But continue.
Well, they were never married. They were, like, long time engaged, but they never actually got married.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting move, Bradley.
Mm-hmm. Also, another thing I learned, Bradley Cooper's mother lives with him.
What?
Yeah. She lived with them.
Was he the star of Failure to Launch, or was that another man?
That was Bradley Cooper. No, that was Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, it was Matthew McConaughey. Oh my God, you know what I'm thinking? Matthew McConaughey. I thought we were talking about Matthew McConaughey. Him and his woman are still together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper, girl. Yeah. A Star is Born.
I know. They look similar.
They do look similar. They're very similar kind of actors.
They're the same type of man.
Yeah. So yeah.
You should have corrected me when I said country boy. Bradley Cooper isn't country. Matthew McConaughey is real country.
Yes, but, like, Bradley kind of, I don't know. I think of A Star is Born and he had that accent.
I'm dead. Okay, yeah. So
anyways,
done.
Kanye's birthday was this week. He was in Paris. He was in France with Irina, and they were seen coming back to California together. And then this brings me to my next thing that I want to say. Kanye is a one-trick pony. He fell in love with Kim. He brought Kim on their first, like, real date to Paris for the week, and they fell in love. And now he's bringing homegirl to France. Like, I'm sorry, do not bring me where you brought your ex-wife. Don't do that.
Yes.
Don't take me to the places you took her. Mm-hmm. I don't care how much you love them. You need to find new places to love with me.
Yeah, that's true. I don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
Mm-hmm. And Kim was just crying about him on TV.
Right.
Men.
Shiesty. Yes. So that's what's happening in Kanye land. So I think it's interesting that he's moved on.
You do?
Like, that he's, like, publicly moved on.
He needed to get rid of the gay rumors. Because remember, everybody was talking about him and Jeffree Star.
Oh my God.
Although I don't think Kanye's that invested in his image anymore. I think he doesn't want to be perceived anymore.
I don't think he cares.
Yeah.
I just think, interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last thing I want to talk about is some Bachelor news. I don't know why I've taken to The Bachelor. Like, I watched one season and all of a sudden I'm obsessed.
I don't get it either.
And it's weird because I'm not even watching this season of The Bachelorette. Like, I'm just like, I refuse. This is going to be so boring. But anyways, The Bachelor's host, Chris Harrison, remember we talked about he was not going to be returning for Bachelor in Paradise this summer. Well, he has officially exited the Bachelor franchise.
Oh my gosh.
After 19 years as the host. He was given a mid-8-figure severance package.
Mid-8-figure?
So basically somewhere in the
10 million?
10 to 20 million.
Wow.
He was asking for 25 and they were like, no, you're smoking crack. And so, you know, it's reported that it's somewhere between like probably 10 to 20.
Okay.
Which is crazy.
That's a good severance.
That is a good severance. Well, I guess because they want him, he's not allowed to talk about his time on The Bachelor.
Okay.
As a part of the deal as for leaving. So
is he allowed to work anywhere else?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
I think, well, in the article that I read, they said that he was like willing to come back, excited to come back, but he didn't like the way that they didn't really protect him when all of this went down and kind of just like left him out to dry.
True.
And he was upset. So he was like asking for a lot of money to come back to The Bachelor and they were like, you need to go.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, they did not protect him, and it got way more dramatic than it needed to.
I agree. Like, I think if they had stepped forward and been like, okay, everybody needs to chill out.
Yeah.
It would have, like, blown over. But the fact that they just, like, left him there and have kind of, like, just slowly drifted from him. I thought it was very weird.
It was weird because people are usually canceled for 5 minutes and then we forget about it.
Right.
So why did this one stick? I raised this question to you last time.
I know. I wonder what he's like behind the scenes. Like, maybe they were sick of him and they just took this opportunity to be like, bye-bye.
Maybe.
It's just interesting. The Bachelor this season, I was reading something about the ratings. The ratings are like down by 2 million viewers for Katie's first episode. So, you know, Bachelor Nation is suffering, and this season, for Bachelor in Paradise, they're bringing on like a bunch of celebrity hosts. Like,
okay, that's
David
the problem.
Spade, Little John, Lance Bass, and like a couple other people, and it's just like, ugh.
That's the problem. I feel like people have gone too far with the celebrity influencer culture. We need actual hosts,
right,
that can do a good job,
like
and
one person that's there for the stick.
Yeah, and that knows what they're doing.
That too.
And that's funny and has a personality. Right?
That's not like gimmicky.
Yes, because that's why we liked Chris Harrison and all of these hosts. Like, he asks the hard questions. He knows how to get things out of people. What is Lil Jon gonna do?
Right. It's getting weird.
But Lil Jon is really close friends with the Bachelor land.
Really?
Yeah, he's been a guest on a couple of seasons.
Interesting. I think this is where, like, cancel culture, like, gets sticky. Mm-hmm. Because it's, like, part of me feels like ABC as a corporation was afraid of the canceling, quote unquote. And they, like, cowered to the crowd.
Yeah.
And now they've fucked themselves.
Yes.
Like, I feel like this is a moment where, like, someone needed to have a backbone and not be so afraid of the internet. And they failed.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, people were really upset. I saw a lot of Twitter stuff. I went through some hashtags. And people were like, what? Like, we love Chris. Like, what is the problem?
I don't understand.
So it's like, this is one of those moments where it's like, you have to kind of just like put your head down and do what you're doing and like ride the wave. Any backlash that may come of it can come of it. But it's like, what are 50,000 tweets really doing? Like, if your ratings haven't taken a dip, I don't know. I feel like they should have brought him back and just seen what happened.
They should have kept it pushing. They really should have.
Don't be afraid of the internet, guys.
Yeah.
It's real, but it's not that real.
It happens so fast. People forget about
everything.
Yeah, people forget just so easily. Like Doja Cat. Do you remember what she was canceled over?
You know, I was thinking about that this morning because I watched her new music video. Have you seen it?
No.
Really good. So cute. I don't really like the song, but she's like plays like an alien. It's like
I saw
space.
the photo shoot.
Super cute. And I'm just like, damn, her visuals are like so on point. And then I was like, it's just so crazy to me that she keeps working even though she was quote unquote canceled.
Yeah, the internet was so mad at her. So mad. I remember what she was canceled over, but it seems like nobody...
We talked about it in one of our first episodes.
But it seems like nobody else does. And it's just like, she's a star.
She is a star. And that also... the cream always rises. Like, sometimes it really doesn't matter how, like, weird some things can go down. Like, if you're talented, like, you're just gonna keep being talented. Like, it's not gonna go away.
Yeah.
You gotta, like, just woo them back into loving you.
Chris Brown.
I was literally about to say that.
Tory Lanez.
He's another one. When he makes music now, like, I want to be like, I'm not listening to him. But then,
I want to.
But then I'm like, damn, this bangs.
Exactly. Did you know MGK was canceled for a while?
Really?
Yeah, he was canceled over comments about young girls.
Really?
He was 19 and he made a comment on like a 16-year-old being attractive. And people wanted to cancel him. And then he came out with this amazing bop punk album and everybody forgot.
I love him so much.
Me too!
Well, I didn't know that, so I'm just going to pretend like I don't know that.
It's one of those things.
And you know what's so funny about like internet culture and like canceling? It happens like you think the whole world is talking about this and you go into the real world and you ask somebody their opinion on this and they have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, things happen on the internet and it seems so large, but go and ask the teller at the bank about this and they have no idea what you're talking about.
Yep.
It's like the things that happen on the internet only live on the internet and they are not in the real world.
Yes, and you would be surprised. Some of the things that you think are so viral, so crazy that happened on the internet, like, then I ask you and you're like, huh? Because that's not your sphere.
Right.
That's not your little internet bubble.
Right. It's the same thing with, like, just, like, internet stars. They don't actually have any star power because, like, yes, you might have 10 million followers, but, like, ask a normal person who that person is, and they don't know. They've never seen the person in their life. Like, ask mommy who Dixie D'Amelio is, and she could not pick her out from any other girl that, like, went to high school.
Yeah.
I just think that's so funny.
Mm-hmm. It's very interesting.
That's one of those, like, internet things.
Yeah. Do you know the deal with Olivia Rodrigo? Do you know who that is?
I know who that is. Okay. I've never heard the music. I've actually, like, as big as the song is, I think I've heard it once.
Okay, and you don't know the tea?
With the girlfriend and the boyfriend that both made songs.
The Disney people.
Yes.
Okay, so you know the tea because I didn't know. And my coworkers were talking about it and I was just like, y'all are older than me. How do y'all know about these Disney people? I
literally only know about this because of the Morning Toast. Like, they talked about this, so I kept up with the drama, but like I wasn't invested. I honestly don't know anybody's face. I don't know what she looks like. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know what the other girl looks like. Mm-hmm. I just know the names.
Like, the biggest example I could think of that you didn't know about was, remember when I was asking you about Alexis Ren and Jay Alvarez? Okay, so if you people may or may not know about them, but they were like the first influencers and like the first Instagram couple. They traveled the world together before breaking up, like maybe in 2018.
I remember you telling me about
Yes,
that.
and then he came out with a sex tape, and that was like all over my timeline, but I feel like you don't even know.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's
the coconut oil, like that was a big part of the culture, and you just don't know. So you guys...
The internet is a weird place. Like, things happen in silos.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I think that's one of those phenomenons about the internet and just like social media that's just like, it will always fascinate me because I'm like, how?
How does that happen?
How does that happen?
But it do.
Yeah.
It do be happening.
Is that it? Do you have any more stories?
That's all I have.
Okay, well, guys, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of the TV&T podcast. Go ahead and subscribe to us wherever you are listening. You know, all the places. Wherever you are listening, please go ahead and leave us a 5-star review. Tell us something nice. We love to hear it. And if you're watching us on YouTube, feel free to subscribe and to give this video a thumbs up. And we will be back next Friday with another episode to serve the tea on the latest TV and pop culture news. Bye, guys.
Bye.